Hi, I hope you're all well and you're having a fantastic day. I'm going to make besan today, made out of the chickpea flour or gram flour. The chickpeas are ground. In Punjabi, the sweet dish itself is also called besan, and this is fudge-like, absolutely mouth-watering, delicious, so aromatic, and you have one and trust me, you will want to finish the whole plate. My name is Avtaars and welcome back to Avtaars World. But if this is your first visit, you're very welcome. Coming to the besan, to start off with 2 cups of besan or ground flour, 1 cup of ghee or clarified butter. I'm keeping it slightly less than 1 cup. I like to have the ghee on the lower side. 1 cup of sugar is icing sugar. I've got roughly 4 tablespoons of cold milk. These ingredients are all optional. I have 2 tablespoons of very fine suji or rava or semolina. The almonds, green cardamon powder, very tiny pinch of food coloring, some rose petals, some pistachio nuts. I'm going to use pan here. Initially add the besan just for like a couple of minutes, dry roast it on a very low heat to get even color and even roasting. Doing this, it actually brings in the flavor, it makes it alive even before you've done the whole process of cooking. And to this add 2 tablespoons of fine semolina. This is totally optional. You may not want to add that if you want to keep it gluten-free, because the besan itself is very fine powder. I like to have that bit of grainy texture in the burfi. So another minute or so, making sure there is no lumps. Now I'll make that hole in there, throw the ghee and start mixing it. Like I said, I like to keep the ghee and the sugar on the lower side. So that also means when I am roasting it, it's going to take me slightly longer. You can't rush it. If you cook it on the higher heat, you will not get that flavor to it. So I'm ready to add the rest of the ghee, little few drops. So that's going to go in as well. This frying is very important that you stay and continue turning it. You can't leave it, and that is what will either make or break the dish. Just the right amount of roasting in the ghee. It is looking a bit dry, but once it's all done, it will start releasing the ghee. It's gone softer as well, and when I am turning it, it's not sticking to the side and it's all kind of getting into a lump. So now is the time for me to turn the heat off. So even though I've turned the heat off, make sure that I keep stirring as the cooking process is still going on there. So while the besan is cooling down, icing sugar, initially I'm just going to add tablespoons, that is 4, mix it together. Instead of just throwing the sugar dry into the pan, this will start dissolving the sugar into the fluid. It's all evenly distributed. Then a teaspoon of ground green cardamom powder is added here. Initially, very small, tiny drop of the food color, and I'm going to throw this mixture into the besan. The color of the sugar and the ghee, when it solidifies, it starts turning paler. I add that bit of coloring, just a tiny drop. It will give me lovely color. Mix it all in first. Make sure there is no blobs or lumps. And now turn the heat on again, very low heat, and that last stage of cooking, those drops of milk that went into there. And if you look at it now, it's ready. Transfer it all into the tray that I have already lined with a bit of a ghee. Now this is the stage where you got to be very quick, and I'm going to show you another way of testing if it is ready. If you look at my frying pan, it's all shiny. It's released all the fat. Now, if you wanted to test it before, this is another way of testing it. If you just take a little bit and you do this, can you see? Getting turned into a nice, lovely ball shape. So that is telling us that our besan is thoroughly cooked. Another stage that I'm going to do is, which is optional, you can add the chopped nuts while it is still very warm. The reason being, get ingrained into the besan, pistachio nuts, and for that coloring, adding few rose petals. The fragrance, I would say, that's coming out of those petals is so beautiful. Press them gently now, and really I need to let this cool down because even that steel tray is quite hot to touch at the moment. How beautiful does that look? I will have to make sure that I am cutting it into the shapes while it is still hot. It contains ghee, and when that ghee gets colder, it's going to solidify, and that will make the cutting difficult. It's just cutting so easily, so soft into the besan. Make them into diamond shapes. Less than half an hour, I've got a really nice, very, very tasty homemade mithai. As this will cool down, and then I'll just use a soft scoop to just bring them out. As you can tell, it's all coming out, but it still is very, very warm, very hot, and I do not want to, I want it to form into nice shape. The wonderful aroma and the fragrance that coming out of this besan, and I just wish you could actually sample. I think you still can if you make your own, and post us your comment to let us know what it comes out like. Do not forget to subscribe onto our channel. Feel free to share and like it. Until next time, God willing, see you then, and take care. Bye bye for now.